If you like horror, hit that notification bell, smash that like button, and push that subscribe button now.
What's the boogeyman?
Hello, Sydney.
Welcome to my nightmare. We want the man who did this.
Welcome to Nick Push's Horror Channel.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Happy Sunday. This is totally random. I was just testing a few things out and figured I'd test it live on air, just making sure connection's going. So hope everyone's having a good weekend. Let me know in the comments if you've watched any good movies this weekend. Hopefully you've been outside kind of enjoying summer, but we can get a nice mix in there as well where you can, enjoy the weather outside. And also watch some movies. So yeah, hopefully everyone's doing that. High Tech Hot Dog in the house says, hail. Hi, High Tech Hot Dog. How you doing? Good to see you. How's everyone else doing? What are you up to this weekend? Anything fun? It's kind of Sunday afternoon. For me, I finally watched the first Omen last night. It was interesting. I didn't think it was bad by any means. It certainly made it intriguing as far as we already knew what was going to happen. Someone was going to give birth to Damien, the Antichrist, but they made it interesting enough, and had some good twists and turns in there. I kind of called out one of the twists in there, which kind of bums me out a little bit, but overall it was decent enough. It could have been much worse. High Tech Hot Dog says, just watch the new Strangers. It sucks. Same old. Yeah, I have not heard great things about the new Strangers movie at all. And it sucks because the first Strangers was pretty great. It came out, was it 2008? Right around there, right? 2008, 2009. I think it was 2008. But anyway, that was a great movie. Kind of came out of nowhere. And then The Strangers Prey at Night was it's kind of turned into a cult classic, as much as you can for a recent movie. And it's still to this day is my most surprising theater experience because I was expecting absolute dog shit going into that. And I was just enjoying the hell out of that movie. I do think it's gotten a lot more praise than it probably deserves online, in the online community at least. Just because some of the visuals and some of, the 80s music and things like that, which I'll admit is really cool. But it's kind of made people turn a blind eye to some of the faults of the movie. But anyway, I have not seen Strangers Chapter 1 yet. Not really planning on it. I like Renny Harlin. Nightmare 4 he did. Die Hard 2 he did. Die Harder. So I like Renny Harlin. But from everything I've heard, the new Strangers movie kind of sucked. So yeah, I think most people have agreed with High Tech Hot Dog that it sucks, which stinks. So yeah, and High Tech Hot Dog says he likes the first two. So yeah, I'm with you on liking those. Live to Fish Rourke is in the house. Says, good to see you, Nick. The YouTube journey has been nuts, not gonna lie, especially when work gets stressful and wipes you out. Still just want to have fun. Yeah, if you guys have not checked out Live to Rourke's YouTube channel, he just started a channel maybe 3 months ago or something like that, maybe a little longer. But please go check that out. He's got a lot of good stuff over there. He's just starting out, but he's got a lot of cool thoughts. He's got a great video on Halloween 5 that's turned into a rant. And he talks about some of his favorite YouTubers and some of his favorite movies and some of his wife's favorite movies. So it's a good channel. He's a good guy. Give him some support. And I am with you, man. Day-to-day life sometimes gets in the way. And, you'll see me sometimes step away from YouTube once in a while, where all of a sudden it's been, 5 or 6 weeks and I haven't made a video. And, I usually step away the second it starts feeling like a job to me, where I sit down and I'm like, oh, I gotta make some kind of video today. And, life is crazy because we all got lives. And it's like, hold on a second. I'm just Nick. I'm talking to myself here. Nick, you did this for fun. You did this because you needed an outlet to talk about horror movies because most of your friends in real life don't like talking horror movies. So the second it starts feeling like a job to me is when I kind of back away from YouTube, take a break, come back re-energized. I am unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on your point of view. I'm not like, some of these other big channels where, they get, massive paychecks from this and it kind of is a job and they still enjoy it. But for me, this is always going to be a hobby. And the second it starts feeling like a job and day-to-day life takes over, and that's when I back away for a minute. So yeah, I feel you. And, keep going on this YouTube journey, man. You're doing fantastic. You are light years ahead of where I am, or where I was, when I first started, because I'm telling you right now, when I first started YouTube, I was on my phone. This was 6 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. I was on my phone in my basement and I had little notes written on like a piece of mail or something. And I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go. And it slowly kind of progressed from there, obviously. But yeah, you're light years ahead of where I am. So keep at it. You're doing great. And I can't wait till your next video. Cam TV, what's up? Says, looking forward to A Quiet Place Day 1 and Smile 2. Yeah, Quiet Place Day 1. I'm not sure when that comes out. It's got to be soon, but that's exciting. I'm very intrigued for that. And Smile 2. Smile was really surprising to me. I heard a lot of great things about it, and I didn't really take them seriously. I didn't know if it was going to be, one of Blumhouse's hits and one of Blumhouse's misses. I think it was Blumhouse. Correct me. I stand to be corrected on that. But I actually just finally watched Smile maybe like 6-8 weeks ago or something like that, and I was pleasantly surprised. Wasn't a big fan of the ending, but I was really pleasantly surprised by that movie. Really, really, really creepy. Uh-oh, look out. Davey Deathray in the house. What's up, Davey? Speaking of channels, I was just talking about Live to Fish Rourke. Davey Deathray is pushing closer and closer to 1,000 subs. Make sure you guys go check him out. I was also just on there on his late night show that he has every Wednesday. I was on there this past Wednesday. It was a blast. Davey was a great guy. And I'm going to get him on my channel hopefully soon because him and I are talking about probably talking about The Changeling, which we both kind of bonded over on his channel last week, Wednesday. But yeah, please go check out Davey Deathray's channel. Like I said, he's got a talk show, like the talk show format, kind of like Letterman, Leno, whatever. He's got a format that he's doing every Wednesday night. And it's really cool. He's already got, tons of great guests and me. But tons of great guests he's had on there. He's getting all kinds of YouTubers, musicians. I'm sure he'll have, other writers, who knows, the way he's going, he'll probably have some celebrities on there at some point because he has just hit the ground running here with it. So make sure you go check out the Davey Deathray channel. Yeah, Alien Romulus definitely looks good. I agree. Which would be a pleasant surprise because it'd really be nice to have a nice, good alien movie. We haven't had one in a while, depending on how you feel about Prometheus. I actually like Prometheus, but I think that's kind of split down the middle. But even as a fan of that movie, the xenomorphs don't really play a role until the last 10 seconds or whatever. So it'll be nice to get a great alien movie again, because like I said, it's been a long time, probably since Cameron directed Aliens. Davey talking about finding the right balance and making sure that you're in the right spot to stay passionate and driven. Oh, absolutely. One thing I've learned, and that we've probably all learned eventually, whether it's YouTube or anything else, but if your heart's not in it, people will see that. If you're just going through the motions, you get on YouTube, you're going through the motions. Like I said, you're not passionate, you're not driven. People see that and they're not going to want to watch that, so yeah, you gotta bring your A game. It doesn't have to be your A game all the time, but you gotta care about what you're talking about, right? You gotta care about your audience. You gotta care about getting your thoughts out there. If you're just making a video to vent, or you want to get your thoughts out about something, you really gotta care about it. So yeah, I agree with you, Davey. High Tech Hot Dog also like Prometheus. Good, I'm not alone in that. Carlos Sandoval, how you doing? Says you look good without your facial hair. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I go through spurts where I don't shave for a while, then I shave. I can never decide the look I want. But no, I appreciate it, and good to see you in the chat. It has been a while. Michael says, I can't think of the last good horror movie I've watched. Most of the newer films feel like quick money grabs or are too far-fetched. Films like Evil Dead, Nun 2, Exorcist. Not a fan. Smile was okay. Yeah. A lot of these newer horror movies are hit or miss for me as well. I liked the Evil Dead from 2013. I still haven't seen the new one from last year. I think that was Evil Dead Rise. Nun 2 I didn't see. I saw the original Nun, and just typical jump scares. Didn't even bother seeing the Exorcist film. I'll probably check it out at some point. Like you said, Smile was okay. I enjoyed Smile. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get excited for some of these new horror films. The way to get us excited is to give us a good trailer. But if they give us a good trailer, it's going to give shit away. It's tough. But I'll probably check out Evil Dead Rise just because I did like the 2013 version a lot. I thought what they did well in 2013. I thought the creative decision to make the girl, I can't think of her name, the main character, but to make her a recovering drug addict. I thought that was brilliant because she's seeing all these visions, right? And nobody believes her. They think she's just fucking detoxing. So I thought that was really, really cool. Are there some things that got a little far-fetched? Yes. Are there some gore that I had to turn away from, like when she rips her arm off or whatever? Yes. But I definitely enjoyed that movie. And I told Davey Deathray on his channel on Wednesday that I gotta get him to convert me on the original Evil Dead films, because it just I couldn't get into them. I really, really couldn't get into them. And it sucks because I really like Bruce Campbell a lot. But I'll give Davey a chance to convince me, because he is a massive Evil Dead fan. Speaking of Davey, he says Evil Dead Rise is good, not great, not a bad film in the Evil Dead franchise. Yeah, from what I've heard, there really isn't a bad film in the Evil Dead franchise at all. That hasn't had the big stinker yet. The Halloween 5, the Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell. I know it's not Friday the 13th, but the Freddy's Dead. It hasn't had a stinker yet. Kind of like the Scream franchise. So that's impressive. Carlos says, how do you get the airport from The Exorcist? What do you mean, Carlos? Sorry, I not following. So sorry. If you just want to elaborate, I will answer that. Michael says, great point with the jump scares, Nick. That's what they seem to only focus on. There needs to be more of an eerie tension feel to these newer films. Yeah, and I think it kind of just goes back to movies today, right? The audience today, unfortunately, if Halloween 1978 came out today, it would fail miserably. It's a sad reality. You can't go through 55 minutes or whatever the hell it is, just kind of slowly building tension. You need, you need scares early, right? And if even a studio wouldn't even release it, because the studio heads would watch the film and they'd be like, we need 2 more scares in earlier in the film to keep the audience going. And it's the lack of attention span. It's the TikTok generation, unfortunately, where videos are 15 seconds long and boom, swipe up, however TikTok works, on to the next one. So it's just the sad reality of the world we live in. And there's a lot of better things right now today, than 40 years ago. I don't mean it like that, but as far as movies go, it's just a different generation. And I'm sure people were saying that in the early 80s, that were our age in the early 80s, saying, oh, it's not like it was in the 50s or 40s, it's just the circle of life, I guess. Mia, that's her name in Evil Dead. Davey says, making Mia a drug addict and not mentioning or showing cell phones. Brilliant. Yes. Yes. High Tech says, I need to watch Rise. Yeah, so do I. So do I. You don't have to apologize, Carlos. No, I make typos all the time. Trust me. No need to apologize. Live to Fishwork says, looking forward to Maxine. Got to rewatch X and Pearl. My wife will tolerate it, but I forgot to remind her to be ready for Alien Romulus. Guys, I haven't actually not seen X or Pearl, so I can't watch Maxine yet. But I know they're available on streaming services, so I really have no excuse. High Tech Hot Dog says The Descent is one of my favorites. Yeah, I love The Descent. I thought it was extremely creepy, extremely well good. You know, The Descent would have been great even without the fucking monsters. For me, can be a thrill seeker. I've bungee jumped. I'm going to be jumping out of an airplane at some point. I love roller coasters. I love rides. I am an adventurer, explorer, and I am a thrill seeker. But one thing I will not do is go into a fucking cave where you have to squeeze through tight surfaces. I have no problem going into caves. But if you have to squeeze your body through tight surfaces where you might get stuck and there's a person behind you or in front of you and you might get stuck, I will never, ever fucking do that. I'm claustrophobic as all hell. And I just will never do that. So that setting in and of itself is terrifying to me. And then you add in these monsters that are living in the cave and, you know, you get some good gore and shit, even though I'm not a gore hound these days because I think I'm getting old and I have to look away sometimes. You know, I just think that whole setting is fantastic. Ronnie's in the house. What's up, Ronnie? Ronnie says he's never seen The Descent. If you guys want to laugh, I'm about halfway through, but go check out Ronnie and Blake's channel, ATGNAT podcast here. I was just checking out. They were watching some film about dirty fighting techniques earlier. I think they might have did it live. I couldn't tell. But it's a pretty good laugh. There's some good shit in there. So make sure you guys check that out. They also put out a lot of Friday the 13th stuff as well. And all kinds of shit. Real Dead is here. Josh. Hey, Josh. I've been on a couple of videos on their channel as well, guys. I'm promoting everyone today. But go check out their channel, Real Dead. They got a lot of good shit on their channel. You know, same thing, Halloween, you know, all that stuff. And they do a lot of stuff at conventions and stuff like that. So make sure you go check that out. How you doing today, Josh? Anyone watch any other movies this weekend? Like I said earlier when I first got on, I hope you guys had a chance to watch a movie or two, but I also hope you guys are out enjoying the fucking summer. I say that all the time. I sound like some old get off my lawn guy. And I love movies, but you can't just lock yourself in a room and watch movies all weekend. Go enjoy life. But yeah, I hope you guys had a chance to watch some movies. Like I said earlier, I watched The First Omen last night, and it was all right. It wasn't too bad. As far as prequels go, I thought it was pretty well done, and I thought it was intriguing. And I'm a huge fan of the original Omen from 1976, I believe it is. Really love that movie. Gregory Peck's in there, and it's just a creepy movie. It's kind of like a Final Destination before Final Destination. So yeah, Ronnie, Nick, will you be doing another stream from the beach this summer? You're goddamn right, man. I'm planning on doing some type of Jaws video from the beach, and actually, not super nearby me, but a few hours from me, there was just 2 shark attacks on Friday, within 90 miles of each other. Some lady got bit in like the pelvis and arm, and they had to amputate her arm, and then 2 girls also got bit and sent to the hospital, and they were in waist deep water. So I got to find a way to do some type of stream with a shark by me. So yeah, that's the plan. Maybe maybe I'll rent a jet ski and go live from the ocean or something like that. Josh says, watch Sting last night from 2024. It wasn't bad. I haven't heard of that one. Definitely haven't heard of that one. High Tech Hot Dog says it's hot as fuck here. 98. Yeah, it's 98 by me too. Maybe we're by each other. But yeah, although it's hot all over the fucking country. Ronnie says I'm right. Hey, can I get that in writing, Ronnie? You guys get out and touch grass and get some ass. Yeah, that's the summer motto, or at least it was when I was like 19. I agree, High Tech Horror. The original Omen has a feeling that the new one can't replicate. I agree. And some of that's just movie making, right? And wasn't it directed by Richard Donner, same guy that did like Superman 2 and the Goonies and, all kinds of great shit. But yeah, the original Omen has just got an eerie feeling throughout. And as the mystery starts to unfold, it just gets creepier and creepier. And it's got some good practical effects too. David Warner gets the head chop off with the glass. Every time I see David Warner, people remember people from certain movies. For me, he's the scientist from Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. Always has been. Davey says 105 here in Phoenix. Real feel is 109 right now. Yeah, dude. Phoenix gets hot. My sister used to live in Phoenix, so I'd go out there quite a bit to visit her, and the summers are pretty brutal. Live to Fishwork says, I finally found the 2001 Heartbreakers with JHL and Gene Hackman and Sorgan. JHL. Who am I like an idiot here? JHL. Josh Hartnett. No. I'm going to have to look that up. Hold on. I'm looking this up. It's going to bug me. JHL. What is it? Let me go to IMDb here. Give me one sec. My curiosity is getting the better of me. JHL. I'm going to be like, oh, duh. Heartbreakers from 2001. Oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Got it. Oh, JLH. Got it. Yeah. I have not seen that. Is it any good? I just have not seen that one. Michael says, Nick, have you heard anything about the new Friday the 13th series or a new movie? I'm dying for some new Friday content. I'm dying for some Friday shit to talk about, man. Absolutely dying for some Friday 13th stuff to talk about. Haven't heard much since what's his face stepped away or was let go. Brian Fuller. Haven't heard much. I assume we'll get some type of news at some point later this summer. But at this point, I'm just preparing for us to be waiting for a long, long time, unfortunately, which really sucks because we've been waiting long enough and we finally had a little hope, right? We had a little bit of hope. And I know some people don't want a series. I'm cool with the series. I just want something. Give me something. Give us a series and a movie. Basically, get your head out of your fucking asses and give us something. Because we're going to sit here and promote your shit anyway, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, whatever. Give us something and make it decent. That's all I ask for. So, no, I haven't heard anything since Fuller dropped out. Let's see what we got here. Josh from Real Dead says, I watched Tarot today. It wasn't great, but not the worst. I heard that movie. I haven't seen it, but I heard that movie was really bad. Like really, really bad. I probably won't watch it unless I'm really bored and looking for something to watch. But yeah. Live to Fishwork says, we watched Heartbreakers, as I said. Finally found it at a used game shop. Was funny as I remember. I take breaks from horror now and then. Oh, yeah, me too. I take breaks from horror all the time. Sometimes I'm just feeling in the need for a comedy and I throw on an Adam Sandler movie or something like that. So, yeah, definitely with you. Hey, Mason, the King of Horror, is in the house with a Chucky icon. How you doing, Mason? Good to see you. Josh says 75 degrees here in Michigan. That sounds nice. Sounds really nice. And Mason says, yes, we need more Friday the 13th. Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think the fans are itching for it. And it'd just be nice to talk about something because we haven't had Friday, like I said, since the 2009 remake. And, we've been talking about fucking legal battles for years. Is that what we really want to talk about? legal battles? No. So they need to get their heads out of their asses. Beetlejuice 2 is coming. Yeah, I'm mildly intrigued by this. I thought the trailer was all right. They kind of got the band back together, which is cool. Burton and, they brought in Ortega to feed the younger generation. They obviously Keaton's back. And Winona Ryder. This is one of the few that I'll actually go see in the theater just because it's pretty intriguing to me. And who doesn't want to see Keaton back in the Beetlejuice costume? The one thing I will say that scares me a little bit about this, and it's going to sound crazy, but it's going to run. You can tell by the trailer, it's going to have the usual sequel trope of where you have a villain, Beetlejuice, who, yes, he was a huge part of the movie Beetlejuice. It's fucking named after him, right? He was a huge part of it, but he wasn't the focal point of that movie. It was the family, and it was Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. Well, now this looks like it is full-on Beetlejuice-centric. Beetlejuice is like the key to something. And as much as I knew that had to happen, right? I knew that had to happen. I like him kind of being in the background and just kind of being this trickster that shows up and causes a ruckus. And now it's like Beetlejuice is very important to the fate of something. And that scares me a little bit. But I bet you it'll be entertaining. I bet you it'll be weird because Tim Burton's directing it, and Tim Burton got a PhD in weird, right? Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Like I said, it's one of the few I'm going to see in the theaters. Mason says Jaws 3 and 4 are getting 4K. Yes. Yeah, from what I heard, the artwork on at least Jaws 3 4K is not very impressive, which is disappointing. I am planning on finishing my Jaws review from last year. I did 1 and 2. I'm going to do 3 and 4. You guys might be surprised by my opinion of 3. And 4 is going to be basically a classic Nick rant because Jaws 4 is up there with Freddy's Dead and some of the other, for me, worst horror sequels ever created. It says something that we haven't had another Jaws movie since Jaws 4. That's how bad it was. High Tech Hot Dog says, Talk to Me was awesome. It had the rotten hand that let him talk to Ghost. Yeah, that's one of the trailers I actually saw that actually intrigued me. It looked really creepy. I thought the concept was good. It looked like a modern day horror movie, right? But it looked like one with a concept that, if done right, could be really intriguing. And I'm glad you thought it was awesome. And that helps me want to check it out actually, because I thought it looked pretty good too. I just haven't had time to watch it yet. All right, that's a lie, right? I can't say I haven't had time to watch it yet when I'm watching, The Omen 1976 a week ago and, shit like that. I just haven't watched it yet. I get in these habits where I just rewatch some of these old movies I like. I'm sure we all get like that. Talking about Heartbreakers, Live to Fish Work says it's very funny. It's basically Ripley and Julie mother-daughter comedy, and they seduce men to pay off the IRS. Interesting. Mason says, I love the Halloween Rob Zombie movies. It's interesting for me. So up until a couple of years ago, I've always hated the Rob Zombie movies. Hated them, and Zombie does a lot of things that just aren't for me. Some of the white trash shit, some of just like the gratuitous shit. I get it, right? I get why it's appealing to others, but a lot of times it's just not for me. But upon rewatching Halloween 2007, it did a lot of things right. The score is great. Once it gets into kind of the back half, I think it moves at a breakneck pace, and it's awesome. Tyler Mane is great as that version of Myers. It's just the first 15 minutes or something. To me, it's borderline unwatchable. But I thought Zombie did a great job after that. And I'll say this about Zombie: the guy can fucking direct the hell out of a movie. He is a very talented filmmaker. I just think his writing gets in the way, but that's just shtick, right? That's who Rob is. And he makes no apologies for it. He is 100% himself. And I respect that. I got a lot of respect for Rob Zombie, even though some of the stuff he does, like I said, it just isn't for me. But it is a lot of people, which is cool, and that's what I like about some of these like remakes and stuff. You know, Rob Zombie, might not be my cup of tea, but he's a lot of other people's cups of tea, and that's how you get new generations, becoming fans of these characters. At some point, Michael, Freddy, Jason, all these people, Chucky, Ghostface, they're all going to be 40 years from now. They're going to be like, Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, Invisible Man, all that shit, the Universal monsters. So, you're going to have other iterations of these characters. And some of them will be for us and some of them won't be for us. And it's cool that, we're going to have that moving forward. So as much as like, I do want to see new horror movies and stuff like that, it's cool that we'll get different spins on these stories, because like it or not, or I should say, believe it or not, almost every story has been told before. At this point now, we're just telling things in a different way as a human race, or using this to tell the same story. Even Star Wars is a story that has probably been told before. It's probably got some, it's probably, steeped in mythology, steeped in some biblical things. As humans, we just keep telling stories and stories and stories and finding new ways to tell the same story or have the same message. So that's one thing that I do like when movies, get remade for another generation. I'm a big fan of a lot of remakes, actually, believe it or not. And, just because a movie's remade doesn't mean that the other movie doesn't exist. It's not going to ruin your childhood, as they say, right? So like, The Thing is a remake. Huge fucking fan of The Thing. The Blob is a remake from 1988. I'm a huge fan of that movie. There are a lot of good remakes out there. All right, Mason says, Summertime Sleepaway Camp is a great movie to watch right now. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of good summer movies out there, especially like 80s summer movies, like Sleepaway Camp, The Burning, obviously Friday the 13th. Dr. Hoffman in the house. Hey, Dr. Hoffman, how you doing? Been a while. Says, hi, Nick. Well, hello to you. Mason says, I don't know if you've seen this movie, but Evil Bong is a super fun movie that is a super great, and it's a fun franchise. I have not seen it, but I think I saw the like the poster come up as an option on like either Tubi or Peacock. I can't remember. And I remember laughing. I'm like, oh, I bet you this would be a stupid fun movie that would be nice to just put on and just have a laugh or things like that. Sometimes good stupid movies are just fun to watch. I watched a movie on Cinco de Mayo called Cinco de Mayo. It was a horror movie. I'm telling you guys, I looked it up. This movie was made by students it's on Tubi. It was made by students for like, I'm telling you, I think it was like under $500. And it shows. It is not a good movie, but it was awesome. It was fucking awesome, guys. I'm telling you, movies like that, sometimes if I'm in the right mood, I just can't get enough of. And I think it's fun. I think sometimes we just take movies too seriously. I'm guilty of it 100%. But sometimes we just, take them too seriously. So it's fun to just kind of lay back and just throw on a dumb movie and have fun. Yeah, a lot of people are not a fan of the new Star Wars movies, and I'm probably with them. I think they're too Disneyfied. Live to Fish Work says, have you seen Hell Night from 81? I really appreciate the 80s slashers for 80s slasher for its mood and atmosphere, and would recommend to all who have never seen it. It doesn't try and copy Friday the 13th. I have not seen that, Hell Night. I've heard of it, but I'll make sure to check that out. I like a good early 80s slasher movie for sure. High Tech says, rewatched all the Child's Play recently. They hold up. Yeah, I think they hold up pretty well too. Even the original, Chucky, they didn't realize what they had with Chucky, but the original holds up pretty well. I just reviewed with Ronnie over last October Child's Play 2. I've always been a big fan of that movie, and I actually have a soft spot for Child's Play 3. After that, Bride of Chucky, I think it's good. I like anything with John Ritter in it, but after that, I really haven't gotten into it. But yeah, some of those older ones definitely check out. Dr. Hoffman says, hey, Nick, please watch the 1940s movie, The Spiral Staircase, classic. Dr. Hoffman always has some good suggestions for me. The Spiral Staircase. I'm going to screenshot this. Okay. Let me screenshot it. Yeah, I don't remember that one. Dr. Hoffman says, my ex-boss was terrified of Chucky. I found a doll and put it in his office one day. He screamed like a girl and we all died laughing. That's awesome. That is awesome. Davey Deathray says, dumb movies make the world go round. They sure do. And like I'm telling you guys, if you want to laugh, watch Cinco de Mayo. It's on Tubi. Actually, Ronnie, if you're still in the chat, looks like you are. You guys should watch Cinco de Mayo for a Taco Tuesday one time. It's fucking fantastic. I was laughing the whole time. I was just having fun. It was awesome. Awesome. Ronnie actually makes a good point. He says Tremors is a good summer movie, even though I'm pretty sure it took place in winter. Yeah, Nevada, same thing. Summer, winter, same thing in Nevada, right? But absolutely, Tremors is incredible. I don't see it mentioned as often as it should be in like monster movies and stuff. People just think, oh, it's a Kevin Bacon movie, but it's a really good monster movie, and the practical effects, especially for 1990, are fantastic. All right, guys, I'm going to go another 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would show up. It's nice to see you. I'm glad you guys did show up. I was just wanted to make sure my live streams were working so I could go on, hopefully this week sometime, depending on my schedule. But I appreciate you guys showing up and keeping the chat lively. Let's see here. Mason says, underrated movie is Creepshow 3. I've never seen Creepshow 3. I'll have to check that out. Ronnie says same thing for Monster Squad. Yeah, Ronnie actually just got me to watch Monster Squad maybe a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, something like that. And it sucks because I didn't have the same nostalgia that I would have if I watched it as a kid. But even without that nostalgia, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was good. I bet you if I saw it as a kid, I would fucking rave about it. Mason says, I want Trick or Treat 2. Yeah, I love Trick or Treat. It's probably my favorite anthology series or movie I've ever done. Trick or Treat is fantastic. Just the October atmosphere. It's 100% a staple for me to watch every October. I'm surprised we haven't gotten a second one, to be honest with you. I don't think they'd be able to recapture the magic. I just don't. But I would definitely watch it, and I'd definitely be intrigued by it. High Tech Hot Dog says, did y'all see The Lighthouse with William Dafoe and that other guy? I have not. I've heard people rave about The Lighthouse, but I have not seen it. It's black and white, right? Lighthouse is black and white. Deadpool on Disney now somehow. Yeah, see, Disney started buying up all these properties like Fox and all kinds of shit. And then, they need to have people on their streaming service because that's, where they get, a third of their money or something like that these days. So they got to put all these other movies that don't seem like Disney movies on there. And hopefully parents are paying attention because Deadpool is probably not a kid's movie. Agreed. It is underrated. Dr. Hoffman says, if anyone needs a good laugh, watch Maniac from the 40s. Mad Scientist and his injections. It's hilarious. I'm a sucker for Mad Scientist movies, so I am definitely down for that. Live to Fish Work says, this is for everyone in the chat. It's because of Nick more than any of the big channels that inspire me to have fun and embrace my true self, seeing that I don't really have any real horror friends. Well, number one, thank you. That's extremely kind of you, man. That makes me feel good. Sometimes on YouTube, and you'll see this, as your channel grows, unfortunately, it's fortunate that it's going to grow. But unfortunately, as you do this, you deal with a lot of bullshit sometimes. You got just idiots, trolls, guys with tiny penises that live in their mom's basement, and they come and they just try to take away the fun of YouTube by giving you crap. I've dealt with it more than I'd like. I could tell you guys some stories. I'm not going to get into it now, but you deal with a lot of bullshit on YouTube. But then you get a comment like this, and you get people showing up in the chat, just wanting to talk horror and being supportive and things like that, and that really means a lot to me. So thank you so much. It's very, very kind of you. And like I said, keep at it. Your channel's doing great. You are light years ahead of where I was at when I first started, and you're gonna pass me soon enough. So I appreciate the kind words. The Gate is top tier 80s. Yeah, I finally watched The Gate a year ago or so, and it was pretty good. I like the claymation stuff. I thought that was awesome. I really thought the claymation shit was awesome. They send me stuff, Ronnie. They send me pictures. That's how I knew. Oops, sorry. A couple more minutes, guys. Mason says, my channel is at 38 subscribers. When I get to 40, I will party. Let's get Mason to 40 right now. Okay. Can two people go to Mason, the King of Horror, and subscribe to him? I'm sure he'd appreciate it. And maybe he'll invite us to this party. No matter how many subs you have, assuming it's over 38, we've all been at 38 at one point. And it's just important to take your little milestones, your milestones and celebrate, because you put work into your channel, right? And, people watch, whether you have 38 subscribers or, you have 100,000 subscribers, you put work into your channel. So yeah, I wish you all the best. Stick with it. You keep putting stuff out there. People will watch. Ronnie says he's going to subscribe. There you go. Oops, sorry. I'll get to you. RRCJ says, hey there, Nick. It's been quite a long time since I've been on any of your live streams. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been live. Not too long, but it's been so sporadic. But good to see you again. Appreciate you showing up. I'm going to be logging off in a minute here. I just wanted to test a few things out. But yeah, so I appreciate you showing up. So that's going to be it for me, guys. I hope you guys have had a good weekend. I hope you have gotten outside and watched movies. You found that perfect mix. But I appreciate you guys showing up. Coming up soon, guys, I'm planning on reviewing the Nightmare on Elm Street series. And like I said, I'm planning on finishing Jaws. And, to Ronnie asked earlier, I'm going to do a live stream from the beach at some point this summer. So I got a lot planned this summer. I do have a lot going on at work, so you might see it might be sporadic. It might be definitely might be sporadic. So, I might do some random shit like this today. But I do have a lot of plans this summer, so hopefully I can make most of them happen. We'll see what happens. I'm also going to enjoy life. So for me, life here, YouTube here, but I love doing YouTube. So I really appreciate you guys showing up. And like I said, I hope you had a good weekend and have a good rest of your Sunday and a good week moving forward here. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.